It is finally becoming clear that maybe the real storm in this story has a name, Chrisean. And trust me, the internet is not keeping quiet about it. Because the moment Blueface stepped back into his home, freshly free, surrounded by celebration, balloons, cameras, and chaos, peace did not even get a single breath before the drama came knocking. Reports say Chrisean showed up at his homecoming party, and what unfolded after that? Let's just say, it was pure mayhem. Whispers are spreading like wildfire that she got into a physical fight, yes, fists were allegedly flying, with Jaden and Carlisa, right in the middle of the event that was supposed to be a family reunion. But wait, it does not end there, because now, somehow, the FBI is allegedly in the mix. Yes, you heard that right. Word on the street is that Chrisean's name might have come up in a federal investigation surrounding the mysterious and untimely death of her ex, Ronny Doe. Social media is losing its mind over this, people are piecing together timelines, reposting old lives, dissecting every move like detectives in a digital courtroom. Comments are divided, some are screaming that she is misunderstood, while others are saying, no, this is a pattern, not a coincidence. Now, let us rewind. The homecoming party was supposed to be November 3rd, a celebration that Carlisa, Blueface's mother, had been planning down to the tiniest detail. Invitations sent, seating charts finalized, menus curated. She even made sure every one of the kids had their own little section, a place to laugh, to eat, to finally feel like a family again. Carlisa wanted this night to be about healing, for her son, for the children, for the family that had been broken apart by fame, chaos, and public scandal. So, of course, she reached out to Chrisean, not to start a fight, not to make drama, but simply to ask, "Are you coming?" And if not, could she pick up Junior, so that he could be there to welcome his father home, surrounded by love? But the reply she got was not peace. It was messy. Very messy. And from that moment, everything spiraled. Because what should have been a night of reunion turned into another headline. Another viral clip. Another chapter in the endless saga that social media cannot stop watching, where love looks like war, and every apology feels like a setup for the next betrayal. And just when you thought things could not get any messier, leaked screenshots hit the internet. Private messages between Carlisa and Chrisean surfaced online, and the moment people saw them, everything changed. Because for the first time, it made Carlisa look different. Not like the villain everyone painted her to be, but like a mother who might have just been trying to hold a broken family together. In one screenshot, Carlisa texted gently, almost pleading, "If you want me to take him, I'll meet you in the valley before I go." A simple, motherly offer, one that any grandma would make, right? But then came Chrisean's reply, cold, explosive, dripping with bitterness, "Be you. Y'all ain't never going to see my son in y'all life. Leave me the alone." The internet froze. That one message went viral in minutes. Comment sections turned into war zones, some defending Chrisean's pain, others saying, "This right here proves everything we've been saying." Still, Carlisa did not retaliate. Her next message was calm, prayerful, like someone who had already accepted the chaos. "Okay, got it. Be blessed. Praying for you and him always, regardless of the circumstances." But Chrisean snapped back again, "Girl, shut the up. You delusional." And Carlisa, maybe trying to remind her of faith, maybe trying to remind herself, replied, "I thought you were saved now. That's the only reason I tried." Then came the line that sent shockwaves through every gossip page online. Chrisean fired back, "Yeah, I am. But I don't got to be nice to the devil." The devil. She called Carlisa the devil, and that word echoed across social media like thunder. Within hours, hashtags like #Chrisean vs Carlisa, #Blueface drama, and #deviltext were trending. People were screen recording, reposting, dissecting tone and punctuation like FBI analysts. Carlisa's response, though? Chillingly peaceful. "He sent you, Carlisa." To which Carlisa quietly replied, "No ma'am, the devil would never send anyone in peace." The messages kept going back and forth, accusations, rebukes, prayers, curses, a spiritual war fought through blue bubbles and broken hearts. And it all ended with one final blow, Chrisean saying she would not attend the homecoming party, and that she would not bring Junior fast forward to the day of the homecoming, November 3rd. The crowd is glowing with camera flashes. Carlisa's home is decorated like a fairy tale comeback for Blueface. Everyone is smiling, or at least trying to. And then suddenly, she shows up. Chrisean. Out of nowhere. With a filming crew. People said. The energy shifted instantly. Carlisa was already recording the event herself, carefully making sure Jaden's kids stayed off camera because Jaden prefers them out of the spotlight. But Chrisean? She did not seem to care. She walked in smiling like nothing happened, acting like the same people she had cursed out the night before were now her family again. Witnesses say she was being overly sweet, brushing Jaden's hair, touching her shoulder, pretending everything was fine. But Jaden was not buying it. You could see it in her eyes, tight smile, clenched jaw, silent fury. And then, like every Blueface family reunion before it, everything exploded. People started yelling. Cameras were rolling. Blueface was caught in the middle, trying to calm things down while his own homecoming turned into a public circus. Shoves, accusations, chaos. And then, the moment everyone would be replaying for days, Chrisean reportedly lunged, screaming something about telling the truth. Security stepped in. She fought back. Witnesses claimed she scratched one of the guards on the face, yelling that nobody was going to silence her. "I am done being played," she screamed, tears mixing with sweat as the crowd backed away. Seconds later, she stormed off, hair messy, hands shaking, pride shattered, cameras flashing as she walked away under the streetlights, alone. And the most haunting part? She left without Junior. According to sources close to her family, she had left Junior with Blueface's father. That single detail broke the internet. Comment sections erupted. Why leave your baby in that chaos? Was this a setup? Is she spiraling again? But beneath all the noise, one truth resurfaced, the one everyone had been avoiding. Blueface has claimed Junior as his son, but there has never been a DNA test. And now, that missing piece, that ignored question, is louder than ever. Because if Junior is not Blueface's child, then whose baby is he? And according to whispers online, that answer might lead somewhere much darker, something that goes beyond family drama, into the kind of truth that could destroy reputations forever. And just when everyone thought the drama had peaked, it did not. Because what leaked next? It changed everything. Word just broke that Ronnie's death case, the one that had been quietly simmering in the background for months, has finally taken a dark and shocking turn. And this time? Chrisean's name is right in the middle of it. Now, for those who do not remember, Ronnie was not just some random guy, he was someone who once had a deep, complicated, and painfully intense relationship with Chrisean. It was never public at first, but those who knew them behind the scenes say their connection was fire and gasoline. Toxic. Passionate. The kind of love story that burns everything it touches. Ronnie was the kind of man who felt everything too much. And when Chrisean got pregnant, he was convinced, heart and soul, that the baby was his. But then, suddenly, everything changed. She was back with Blueface. The narrative flipped overnight. Now the story was, Blueface is the father. And for Ronnie, that was unbearable. People say he tried to fight it, not out of ego, but out of heartbreak. He wanted proof, he wanted answers, he wanted to be heard. But instead, he got silence. Until one day, he was gone. Now, reports are surfacing that Chrisean has officially been named a suspect in connection to Ronnie's death. Not charged, not yet, but she is on the radar. Investigators have reportedly been digging into interviews, phone records, and maybe even witness statements that place her name closer to the tragedy than anyone expected. And when you line up the timeline, it is chilling. Ronnie had just started speaking out online, posting about a DNA test, demanding to know the truth. He said he was ready to show evidence. And then, not long after, the noise stopped. Social media detectives have gone into full overdrive. Reddit threads, TikToks, podcasts, everyone is re-examining his posts like they are digital crime scene photos. Every clip, every quote, every live stream is being dissected for clues. And when you watch them now, it feels eerie. Ronnie pacing in his room, holding his phone, saying things like, "They are trying to silence me." His eyes darting around the room like someone who knew something terrible was coming. He said it plain as day, "Y'all do not even know the half of it. I got proof. I got messages. They are scared of what I know. If anything happens to me, look at the people close to her." Those words hit differently now. Back then, people brushed him off, called him dramatic. But now? Now it feels like a warning we all ignored. Ronnie was spiraling, but he was determined. He started showing up anywhere he thought Chrisean might be, clubs, events, even recording studios. There are clips of him being dragged out of venues, still live streaming, shouting for her to just take the test. People laughed then. They said he was obsessed. They called him crazy. But looking back, it does not feel like obsession, it feels like desperation. A man trying to scream the truth into a world that had already decided not to listen. He went on podcasts, YouTube channels, interviews, anywhere that would let him speak. He told the same story every time, "That's my son. She is lying. I have proof." Each time, his tone grew more raw, his face more tired, his words more frantic. Some said he was delusional. Others said he was brave. But no one could deny, he was making noise. And that noise was making enemies. Blueface, on the surface, pretended not to care. He mocked Ronnie in one of his live streams, saying, "Bro's just chasing clout off my name. You think I care?" But insiders claim the truth behind the scenes was darker. Blueface was furious, not just embarrassed. This was supposed to be his redemption arc, his homecoming, his second chance. And now, a dead man's name was trending next to his, questioning his fatherhood, his pride, his entire legacy. He reportedly wanted to take the DNA test months ago. But Chrisean allegedly kept pushing it off, saying it was unnecessary. "I already know who the father is." But did she? Or was there something she was terrified of revealing? Because now, the whispers online are growing louder, some claiming that Ronnie had evidence that could have changed everything. That maybe he did have proof, maybe he was silenced. And if that is true, then this story is no longer about family drama. It is about a cover-up. About loyalty turning lethal. And about a truth that someone might have died trying to tell. It started like every other internet storm, a few tweets, a couple of leaked clips, and an argument that spiraled into full-blown obsession. But this time, it was not just gossip. It was war. The internet had split itself into three armies, Team Blueface, Team Chrisean, and Team Ronnie, each one convinced they held the truth. Every new post was gasoline. Every live stream, every screenshot, every exclusive source sent the entire web into meltdown. What began as drama turned into a global crime investigation, one playing out in real time, through hashtags, conspiracy threads, and digital detectives who swore they were getting closer to the truth. And then, everything stopped. Because Ronnie's name hit the news, not for another rant, not for another live, but because he was gone. The details came out slowly, painfully. No robbery. No sign of a struggle. No explanation. Some said he was found slumped in his car. Others claimed it happened outside a friend's house. Either way, the message was clear: Ronnie was not coming back. Those who had seen him that same day said he had been in good spirits, calm, focused, even excited. He was reportedly talking about finally scheduling that DNA test. A few hours later, he was dead. Police called it under investigation, but to the internet, that meant cover-up. And when online sleuths started pulling timestamps and chat logs together, something chilling emerged: messages, allegedly from Chrisean, exchanged with people linked to gang circles. Some sounded harmless, like venting. Others did not. There were lines that people claimed were coded. Phrases like, "he won't let it go," and "something has to be done." Suddenly, the rumors that once sounded insane started to feel real. Months passed. The noise died down, until recently, when the words "major breakthrough" hit every gossip blog like a bomb. And then it happened. Chrisean was officially named as a suspect. Not charged. Not arrested. But her name was there. And that was all it took to blow the internet apart again. From TMZ to TikTok, everyone was screaming theories. Every lyric she posted, every quote, every prayer emoji, dissected like evidence in a crime lab. Her silence only made it worse. Because silence, in this world, sounds like guilt. To those who have followed her journey, it felt tragically inevitable. The athlete who once had Olympic dreams, now drowning in a saga of love, violence, and suspicion. A life that turned from inspiration to spectacle. But this time, it was not about cloud or chaos. It was about life and death. And the cruelest part? All of it might have been avoided, with one simple DNA test. One swab. One lab result. One truth that could have saved 3 lives, maybe 4. But instead, that truth was buried under pride, fear, and power. And now, everyone's name, Blueface, Chrisean, Ronnie, is tangled in the same web. And at the center of it all, a baby. Junior. The child caught between love and lies, between fame and tragedy, between 2 men, one alive, one gone. Then, another headline dropped, this one even darker. Ronnie had been shot outside his home in Baltimore. The case was ruled a homicide before the sun even came up. The news spread faster than police tape. Sirens. Cameras. Red and blue lights flashing across the street. Neighbors whispering, "What happened? Who did this?" No one had answers, but everyone had theories. Because Ronnie was not the kind of man to go quietly. He had enemies, sure, but he also had secrets, the kind that make powerful people nervous. And the way he died? It was almost poetic, like someone wanted those secrets to be buried with him. Then came the whispers, and the whispers turned into headlines. Chrisean's name surfaced again, allegedly tied to the case. No confirmation. No official statement. But the story was too juicy for the internet to ignore. People online claimed she had ordered a hit, that she wanted to calm the storm he was brewing. That phrase, calm the storm, became the symbol of something sinister. What storm? What truth was Ronnie threatening to expose? Some said it was about the baby. Others said money, revenge, or loyalty. But whatever it was dangerous enough to get him killed. Still, everything was alleged. No arrests. No charges. Just shadows and screenshots. But that has never stopped the internet. Influencers, gossip pages, and YouTubers went feral, connecting dots that might not even exist, but sound like they do. Old live streams resurfaced. Past tweets. Deleted clips. Every frame was evidence. Everyone became a detective overnight. And as the theories multiplied, the story twisted again, because new receipts began surfacing. One person claimed Blueface had been playing a long game, pretending to reconcile with Chrisean just to get her comfortable enough to agree to that DNA test. They said that was the real reason he kicked her out that day, not because of disrespect, but because she refused. It was not about control. It was about leverage. About truth. Then another shocking voice entered the chat, Bino. He claimed he was offered $20,000 to secretly swab the baby for a DNA test. That number, $20,000, sent shockwaves across social media. It was not just paternity anymore. It was about power, money, and desperation. Suddenly, new rumors flooded in, people saying that Chrisean was running around homeless, hiding, trying to escape the chaos. That everyone around her wanted a piece of the scandal, the test results, the story, the fame. And then, another chilling detail surfaced. Fans started posting old pictures of Ronnie as a child, comparing them to Junior. And some swore, the resemblance was undeniable. Look at the eyes, one wrote. The same nose, the same expression. Another commented, I was in denial, but that's his baby. But the comment that stopped everyone cold said this, if Blueface doesn't take that baby for his safety, she'll sacrifice him to get her fame and clout back. That single word, sacrifice, lit the internet on fire. Suddenly, the theories turned supernatural. Rituals. Curses. Industry conspiracies. People began analyzing everything, her posture, her crying videos, even the way she held her baby. Every gesture became evidence. Every tear looked like performance. Every silence, a clue. And then, the most haunting claim of all surfaced, that on the same night Ronnie was unalived. Just a few hours later, Zeus Network dropped a segment showing a DNA test revealing Blueface as the father. It was too neat. Too perfectly timed. The ratings soared. Chrisean got her spotlight. Ronnie's voice was gone. And to some people, that was not coincidence, it was choreography. To others, though, it was heartbreak. Maybe she was not the villain. Maybe she was just a broken woman, trapped between fame and fear, trying to survive in a world that feeds on her pain. But one truth remains, in this story, nobody wins. Because when love turns into obsession, and secrets turn into weapons, someone always ends up paying the price. And this time, that price was blood. The deeper this story went, the darker it got. And while the whole world was arguing online, the people closest to the situation? They stayed silent. Or, at least, pretended to. Every few days, a so-called friend or relative would appear online, armed with inside info. They'd post cryptic messages, drop screenshots, or go live with stories that sounded too specific to be fake. One message said, "They gone, try to set me up."